trouble sleeping as it is. I don't want more blood on my hands. I don't want something else that's going to keep me up at night.
Instead of tormenting them and sending them and feeding them to the wolves, y'all should sit down with that person to find out what this shit, man.
Fugitive case. Oh, you picked up 3 cases. You picked up a fraudulent use of ID, less than 5 items. You picked up a theft case, and you have an out-of-state fugitive case.
One of them has been dismissed, Judge. The fraudulent use of items has been dismissed. So technically, he's only got the theft pending and the fugitive case pending.
Mr. Kim, enlighten us.
Your Honor, this defendant is wanted out of Broward County, Florida for felony theft. The state would be opposed to a bond. There are 47 cycles of criminal history in the past 5 years alone, and these are just convictions.
47 pages of criminal history in 5 years?
47 cycles, Your Honor. This 46 pages of criminal history, including, well, the California one's old, so I'm not going to count that one, but just in the last 5 years alone, and these are just...
They were not 47 in the last 5 years.
Hey, don't talk.
One man, decades of charges. The judge isn't judging words. He's judging a paper trail. This isn't about excuses anymore. It's about public safety.
I mean, we're just trying to, the thing is, Mr. Jones, is I have a very limited amount of time to try to get to know you. Everyone that comes in front of me tells me it's gumdrops and rainbows and little bunnies jumping in the woods. But the way I really get to know you is the paper, because that tells me who you are, right? If you're a dangerous person, if you're a person that I'm going to let go and you're going to continue with the criminality, I have enough trouble sleeping as it is. I don't want more blood on my hands. I don't want something else that's going to keep me up at night. So that's why. Well, but this is how we get to know you. And he's telling me you got 46 pages of criminal history.
Your Honor, in the past 2 years, he's had 3 failure to appears of multiple cases. He's had 2 habitation trespass convictions, a DWLI, prostitution, battery, criminal damage, failure to appear, possession of drugs, felony, obviously, resisting. But in the 21 some odd years, it's the 47 cycles of different offenses, and I just stopped scrolling after 2020.
How many failure to appears do we have?
3, Your Honor. And this one itself is a no-show, or according to the transmission.
Hey, Your Honor, could I say something?
Sure.
Okay, with the one you talking about with the failure to appear, I feel that was nonsense because of the simple fact that I flew from Fort Lauderdale up here after they said I had a warrant, and I went to court a couple of days before that. And is that documented, sir? You can see that?
Judge, I will say this. He did explain that to me.
How old are you, Mr. Jones?
I'm 40 years old, sir.
You're 40?
Yes, sir.
How many cases has he picked up in total?
That he's been charged with? If you give me 10 minutes, I can count them, but it's not low. I mean, I can start from 2004.
So theoretically, for every year you've been born, you've had a case.
I have a question.
You're 40 years old, and you have around 46 pages of criminal history. So literally for every year you've been born, you've picked up a case. And not only that, you've got multiple failures to
Sometimes you don't think the jurisdiction will fail me?
Huh?
You don't think the jurisdiction will fail me?
But the problem is, at some point, your actions become your own. You now have with us, you've picked up a theft case here in Harris County. You've got an open case in another jurisdiction. You've got pages upon pages. So at what point is it on you?
When you pay your debt to society, why do they keep using it against you? I pay my debt to society for those.
Because it continues.
For those hires, okay.
Continues to happen. At some point, DAs are like, jail just doesn't work anymore. So that's when we got to go to prison, because this dude.
But prison don't help guys. That don't make them better. That makes them worse. Instead of tormenting them and sending them and feeding them to the wolves, y'all should sit down with that person to find out what's going on to help that person. Instead of prison not helping nobody, prison is not.
I can't tell you how many stories I have read of people who get degrees, college degrees, even become a lawyer while they're in prison. So if you want it to help, then it will. But you got to want it. If
Nobody
you
one better than me, Your Honor.
if you
But
have-
you know the sad thing about it is, in the state of Florida with me, and that's why I left. Something happened, and I have a conflict of interest against the police. So now they're jigging at me every chance that they get. But it's crazy. He's saying I have a warrant, and I flew from there after that warrant was pro se. Pro se that they said I have. I flew from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Houston, flew back down there, and flew back. And they said I have a warrant. And I flew and went to court for another charge down there.
I don't get it.
And I went
I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but it's not supposed to. You know.
So who's the system failing? If I have a warrant, you mean to tell me they're gonna let me in their courtroom, attend to my judge, see my judge, everything, and let me go, and let me get back on the plane to fly back here? Mind you, I flew from here and flew back down there. They let me do all of this with a warrant?
I can't explain that. I can't.
So that's the system failing somewhere, somehow. That's not me.
Let me talk to the judge real fast.
But Mr. Jones, if you have this woe is me attitude, it's never going to change. It's never going to change.
Y'all not helping. It's not helping. Y'all not helping society. Y'all always blaming me and this and that and the other. Prime example, he said, oh, he got prices from here. And he went to call the stuff off. That he said, well, only stopping from 2022, and he going past 2022. And I'm like, yo, but hey, but that's what the prosecutor do. He just doing his job.
Right, that's what he's doing.
Judge, if I may, sure. Points. First, if he's finished up the cases that he has had in his history, he's had a history, okay, he's had a history. If he's paid his debt to society, like he says, if he's completed what he needs to do for those cases, that really shouldn't be relevant here. I would argue that in front of you, this is his first time being in front of you, right? And it looks bad that he has a criminal history. Yes, I get that. But if we were to just focus on whether or not he knew about this case, he's telling me he got on a flight, came over here, and it's a great question. If that happened, he would have had a warrant pending and he would have been arrested. So
when was the warrant issued, do you know?
March 3rd, 2025, but because it's a domestic flight, and obviously I don't work for TSA, I don't work for Department of Homeland Security.
Just got issued.
just March 3rd, 2025, Judge.
Your warrant was just issued in March of this year. So
And I flew
30 days ago, it got issued.
And I flew March 10th back up here.
So Judge, if that's the case, it hasn't been like he's been missing his responsibilities with
And
this
I went
case.
to court.
It's less than a month.
And you can also
he's had
see
this
that I went to
pending.
court. I went to court before March 3rd.
That's why it's a failure to appear, which is
How? I went to court. I went to court before then.
Judge, the warrant has
I was
been
in the
issued
courtroom.
we're at April 1st, less than a month. And so it's not like he's been running. If the warrant's just been issued on March 3rd, I would ask that we afford this man an opportunity to make this right. He hasn't messed up in your eyes. Yeah, he's messed up in the past, but as far as the fugitive case is concerned, I'm asking for an opportunity for him to go to the demanding jurisdiction. And then if he messes up, okay, well, I don't have much to say after that. But just throwing his history out there, it doesn't mean he doesn't deserve a chance.
I stand by that, no bond. He has assaultive history as well, and it shows in the message that we received from Florida is that he has violent tendencies, obviously reflected by the assaultive history, along with and I don't have to go ad nauseum, but the significant criminal history that he has.
When were the FTAs? How long ago?
The most recent failure to appears, one moment, Judge. There's one from May 4th, 2023, December 7th, 2023. There's one from...
It's not on this
7th.
case, though. Those are separate cases. We're not talking about on this case. Are we?
To be clear, it's not on this case, but...
Obviously not on this case.
Okay.
But the problem is that it keeps happening, and I can't continue to...
Sir, it's not keep happening, sir. Sir, this warrant that he said, sir, I went to court. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have another open case, and that open case is why I flew back down there. Went to court, finished court. They said I have a warrant. I go to the warrant district. They said I have no warrant. Leave the warrant district, get on the plane to fly back up here, and they said I had a warrant before I even flew on the plane back down there. So how could I fly?
Mr. Jones, even if I were to set you a bond...
Okay, no problem. Hey, send me back there, man. Can't about this shit, man.
Okay. So I told you before, two of my main concerns are, or my two main concerns are, number one, are you going to go back to the jurisdiction that where you're wanted from? And number two, most importantly, are you a danger to my public? I take public, safety. It's as important as my hair. You know what I mean? It's that important, right? Because I don't want anything to happen out there with my name attached to a bond. I try everything in my power to ensure that everybody's protected. And I see that you're wanted for a really serious case. It's an armed robbery, right? I mean, that's what you're wanted for. There's no denying it. That's what it says on the paperwork.
He's on lifetime probation in Michigan.
Lifetime? There's such a thing as lifetime probation?
There is.
Yes.
Whoa.
So that Kate, I'll let you do the talking.
No, he did his time and he got out and lifetime probation out of Michigan. So that's what's happened. I believe it got.
So how on what would, aside from like a murder case,
So he was
what
charged
would
with
garner?
murder twice, along with 2 armed robberies.
I wasn't charged twice for no murder.
It just shows up.
It just shows up
Oh, I
twice.
was about to say, I wasn't charged
Murder
twice.
along with armed robbery or aggravated robbery in our jurisdiction. He's placed on probation. Since that time, he's been charged in our jurisdiction with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and felon possession of a weapon. In those, he had bond conditions when it started off, where he was ordered to have a GPS monitor. He has had multiple curfew violations on top of that noted. And so I do believe he's a safety risk, because even with literally an ankle monitor, he doesn't follow court conditions. And so I believe he is a safety and flight risk. And the fact that there was a weapon involved with multiple witnesses, some of them children, even threatening to murder them, is that I would be opposed to a bond being set. Also, it should be noted that because of the way the probation was transferred, I can't confirm, so I can't approach on it yet. But from what I see on the system is that he moved the probation to Texas, which means there's an ICA, but I don't have the documents, which is why I can't present them. If there's an ICA hold, he is ineligible for a bond, because that's an ICA hold. I don't have it, which is why I can't say, but if I get the documents.
Interstate compact agreement.
I understand. May I speak, Your Honor?
Of course.
Okay. After we talking about the probation, I'm at the probation, the GPS curfew wise, my judge knows all that was going on. So he knows every information of why I've been late. I have evidence of why I'm late. So he knows everything that's going on with my GPS.
You're not supposed to be late.
He knows why though. So
I understand.
that. That's why he overlooked. He said, okay, it's fine. So he said it was fine.
Quick question, is it a motion to adjudicate?
Well, no, it's still an open case. It's not under probation, but you're just asking if they do a bond violation report. They did on November 1st, 2024. They filed a motion to revoke.
Oh, so it's recent.
It's very recent.
So they've not
this month.
heard, okay, and then so there's not been a hearing on that yet, right?
No, but that's even after they amended the order. Also, he has further bond violation reports on December 18, 2023, another one on November 28, 2023, and that's after they amended it twice. One moment. So he seems to be agreeing with this. So the fact that he has 3 violations on top of having lifetime probation and a possible ICA, obviously, I'm still opposed for him.
Why are you on lifetime probation?
That's the way they set it up as. I took the plea deal.
What are you on probation for?
The armed robbery conspiracy committing armed robbery. I did 5.5 years. Came home off lifetime probation. And to continue what I would say, so I'm a threat to, a flight risk. I can't be a flight risk. Every court that they set, I came every single time. Every court that Michigan have set, I flew out there every single time. I knew I was getting locked up Monday. They told me that Thursday. I still showed up to court and got locked up. So there's no flight risk in this whatsoever if I've been showing up every single time.
And you may be showing up, but at the end of the day, you continue to do what you want to do without regard to bond conditions.
And what do you mean by that, Your Honor?
Meaning that they put you a GPS monitor, and they give you a curfew.
Yes.
And you don't abide by the curfew.
I was working, Your Honor. That's why the judge has stated, because they had my probation curfew time I forgot what time it had as, but I had started my new job because I came, got locked up, lost my other job. He said, okay, the violation he's talking about, I came into court and talked to the judge, and he extended my curfew. He was like, okay, we've been working. I said, yes, I have documentation of new work. So I'll show all my documentation, and he said, okay. So the stuff he's mentioning violations for, they already been taken care of. So he's not stating that either. He said 2023 is, oh, obviously I'm still free, right or wrong. I'm still free. That means he's seen all the paperwork. Obviously, I came with legit paperwork.
And that's kind of where I was coming from at it. If it's a lifetime probation and it's curfew violations that he's still out, my speculation would be that he was able to make an explanation to the judge, and that's why he's not been revoked. So he's still here. As to the underlying charge, it's still a charge and that's what it is. Like he said, he turned himself in on Thursday knowing that he was going to get arrested and held. And so I'm sure that Michigan it's a probation violation because of the underlying charges. And plus that's where that MRP is probably coming from. I believe he's proven time and time again that he's gone to Michigan, taking care of what he needs to take care of, and he will still be here he's been on bond on the underlying case for about a year, Your Honor. He's not been locked up this whole time up until this recent arrest. So, and at this point in time, this is really just for if since we don't have proof of an ICA, if the judge is willing to set a bond, how much that would be, if there's a willingness to set a bond.
Let me read this to you.
Yes, Judge.
Texas Code of Criminal Procedure 17.03, NLR, out of state Michigan, armed robbery, armed robbery with a conspiracy, 2021. Probation transferred to Texas 3/2021. Concurrently charged with murder, which was dismissed. No holds. Defendant is not indigent, and defendant is alleged to have gone to complaining witness's home and pointed a gun at complaining witness and complaining witness's 3 children because one of the complaining witness's children was involved in a dispute with defendant's sister at the child's school. Defendant threatened to kill, quote unquote, everyone in the home. Defendant then left complaining witness's home and came back with defendant's father, both ready to fight complaining witness and complaining witness's wife. That's the aggravated assault that we have now. So, knowing that you're on lifetime probation for a very serious case, you know that you're supposed to be out there with a halo over your head. And yet you pick up an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon where allegedly a gun is pointed at kids. I mean, the way your mannerisms.
I would say something, Your Honor, that's why.
But don't, though. You have this open case.
Understandable.
Everything they can say, they can use it against you. My concern is public safety, man. And you got to understand that I don't know if you're guilty of this offense or not, but the problem is bad stuff keeps happening to you for some reason. It's like sometimes people are their own worst enemy. They get out and then something happens and then they just end up picking up another charge. It's like a cold. You pick up another charge, you pick up another charge here, you pick up another charge there, you don't follow bond conditions here. Mr. Thurman, you scare me, man.
Did I scare you, Your Honor?
Yeah.
And I've been out for a whole year since this case happened, and this is my first time being into this courtroom again, and you're fearful whose safety if I've been doing nothing but right and working.
That's not true.
That has been true. I've been out for a year on bond, and I have not been into this no courtroom, but in Orange Jumpsuit, I should say. Your courtroom, anybody's
you
courtroom.
want me to reward you for being
But you say you're in fear. You say you're in fear for safety. That's what I'm saying. Like, who are you in fear of? I have not been into any trouble whatsoever. I've been squeaky clean. Just I bonded out.
And Your Honor,
You don't get rewarded for being a good person out there. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be like that anyways.
I understand that wholeheartedly, Your Honor. But I'm just saying, but you say you fear, and I'm saying, how are you in fear if I've not been doing anything? That should show you some type of sign. Like, okay, he's never doing anything wrong. So where is the fear come to play? That's what I'm asking you.
The fear is really because, when people come here, it's little bunnies jumping in the woods, rainbows, gumdrops. And then when they get out there, they turn into different people. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. And I don't want that. Like, I don't want someone out there to suffer because we let you out, I let you bond out. You've got an armed robbery, you've got an ag assault. You continue to violate conditions on those bond, right? That shows me that you're not willing to abide by bond. I mean, quite frankly, you're lucky to even be out on those charges with the ankle monitor, and you continue to violate.
In your honor, you keep saying violate. Like, if I was in violations they have on file, by the way. Those have been taken care of. Once again, you keep on saying violations, but they took care of. The felony court judge seeing I have proven, what's the word I'm looking for? Just proven, facts that this is why I'm late. I have a new job. I got fired because I got arrested from the other job. So I started a new job. For me having a felony in my position, and just call it what it is, a young black man with a felony, it's hard for me to get a job anywhere. So the jobs I do get, I take up on those. So it's hard for any shift they open up for me, I'm going to take it and show my work ethic to them. So I let the judge know that. He sees that. He understands, like, okay, that's why you keep on bringing up violations. I have to work. I have to eat. I have to have a house to live in, like anybody else here. So you keep on bringing that up. I'll keep saying it. I already talked to the judge about it. He granted it already. He let it go. That's why I'm still free to this day. Well, was free to this day. And you keep bringing that up. You saying threat to your fear, which is understandable. Everybody gonna have fear, but I have not been into any trouble. I've been working. I've been working for a whole year. I've been on my P's and Q's. And like you say, the police report that you're reading, sir, the case is still open, so I can't really speak on it. I'm pretty say much, but it's a lot more to what you're just reading on that police report. It's always going to be video cameras and house ring cameras, body footage. It's going to be a lot more other things that you're not going to be able to read off a police report, which is understandable.
Just too much blood, Mr. Thurman. I'm sorry. I can't set you on. It's just too much. I'm sorry. Hey, this isn't.
Do not walk away.
This isn't.
I said, okay, it's fine.
Really, I understand that you're hurt, Mr. Thurman, but look.
I've been doing my best, Your Honor. And y'all sit here telling me I'm the bad guy, and I've been doing nothing but my best of my abilities, working, staying out of trouble. And you're a threat, and I'm a threat to society. Really? For a whole year I've been out, and they just not issue a warrant for me just now recently, and I come to turn myself in, and I'm a threat to society. And people, if you fear me for what? From turning myself in and show you that I'm not running for nothing. I'm not running for anything. I'm innocent, and I'm coming to show you I'm innocent by turning myself in. But y'all a threat. You can let go of me, sir.
Stop.
You can let go of me.
You do not tell me how to do my job.
You can let go of me. You grab my arm.
Guys, relax. Relax.
I'm too tight. All I said, grab me. Look how you grabbing me up.
Back up.
Look how they grab me. I said you let me go a little bit.
You gotta calm down.
I'm calm. I just asked him a question. I asked him why she let me go a little bit, sir. That's all I said.
Open the door.
Excuses don't erase patterns. Court doesn't fear words. It fears risk. When history keeps repeating itself, bond stops being mercy and starts being danger.